How Long Gone? Chris Black coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, where it's 95 degrees and everyone is wearing a sweat-wicking polo. Jason, how are you feeling?
Okay, so it's 90. It's the same amount of degrees here in Glendale. 95 degrees. There is less sweat-wicking polos and more sweat-making essentials, fear of God hoodie happening over here. I just went on a morning hike, get my circadian rhythms flowing. I needed to expose my wife to some vitamin D after a long trip, and then it was nothing but essentials up on that hike. People doing full business phone calls while I'm about to die.
Do not say I need to expose my wife to some vitamin D. Do not say that.
Oh, what are you speaking of?
Do not think you're slick. That's nice. I'm glad you got some vitamin D. I did a classic Chris 4 a.m. wake up, but I tried something new at LAX that I wanted to tell you about because it was it's kind of life changing if the return is as good.
Okay, so you're in Austin right now, and you flew there yesterday, and you're flying back today.
No, I flew there this morning. I flew here this morning. I'm flying back tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm flying back tomorrow morning. So
copy that. So what happened down there at LAX, where my wife arrived last night at 1 a.m. and I was unable to pick her up from the airport?
I just couldn't. Sorry, babe. I was asleep.
Yeah.
So Al Wilmot told me about this valet service. And basically, you drive to the airport like you're like normal. Mm-hmm. You get out of your car, and there's a guy there that takes your car from you. Mm-hmm. You go board your flight. When you come back, they're there. Your car gets dropped off. You drive away. They wash it, obviously for a fee, but they'll wash it, put gas in it.
And here's the kicker: it's all free. Yeah, I just love doing it.
No, so it's like but it was pretty amazing to show up at 4:15 a.m. and just basically grab my bag, walk out of the car, and not have because I'm only gone for one day. It didn't make sense to use Vic. It's just too. It's a waste of time. It's a waste.
This is smart. And now you're the only difference is, or the only kicker, I guess, is how well of a detailed job they do. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a good job.
I would imagine. I mean, it's all for the experience. This is why we travel. But yeah, I'm in Austin. I'm staying at the Driscoll, which is apparently haunted. Which I haven't. That's what you remember. Wes, the guy that was in Atlanta that took photos of us at the show in Atlanta.
Of course,
he lives here, and he was like, "Bro, it's haunted." And I didn't follow up. So I'm waiting for the ghost. I'm waiting for the ghost to find me.
He told you this hotel is haunted.
Yes.
And then you left him on red. So now you're just asking for the spooky spirits to.
I just know we were talking about something else, and I moved on in the conversation because I don't want details. I'm sure I could Google it. It's like the Denver airport.
Is it Yeah, I was going to ask. Is it haunted in a way that the Illuminati controls it, or did like an old cowboy shoot somebody in the closet and you could still see the bullet hole, and then every night you have sleep terrors? What is it called?
Night terrors.
Night
Kid
terrors.
Cudi voice.
You have a Kid Cudi style night terrors every night.
Night terrors. No.
There's sleep paralysis. Tech demon in Austin comes down with a puffer vest on, and some Allbirds, and he goes, "Ooh."
He works at Dell, but somehow he has a knife on him. I don't know.
I work at Dell, and I have weapons of mass destruction in my Rivian.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly. If it was Illuminati, I'd be fine because I'm a member. So I feel like they would kind of leave me alone. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not to Jay-Z myself, but I'm a card carrying member.
Which Illuminati are you in again?
There's only one, Jason. I don't know why you're asking questions like this. You know I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like
can't cheat a cheater. I tried.
But yeah, it's a fucking I walked to Sweet Green. The Sweet Green here down the street had a fully separate room, like area and kitchen for pickup orders.
Okay.
Which I know they do, but it was a very impressive operation.
Shout out to Sweet Green. Did they have robots there?
No, but it was just like I went to pick it up, and the guy was like, "No, you got to go outside." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's a full other door with an entire dedicated kitchen just to computer job lunchers." You know what I mean? It's just what it was for.
Yeah,
which I felt like.
Yeah, that happens a lot at restaurants now as the destruction of dining in continues to ravage.
Yeah.
Now that Carolyn is back into town, she's been in New York all week, and I've been being lazy and ordering food delivered. Yeah. I've been getting my caviar and my Postmates on as a rare treat because cooking for one is not as enjoyable,
Well,
I mean, I guess you don't know.
I don't know. I can imagine. But I think the thing with delivery is that it generally sucks unless it's a few kind of genres of food. I'm sure you would agree. Like, obviously, most Asian cuisines hold up pretty well, I would say. But I don't know what else.
Asian cuisine holds up.
I don't know what falls in. What else would you say as an expert delivers well? We know French fries don't.
Obviously, pizza.
Yeah, sure.
Burgers and fries. That's out of here.
Can't do that.
Don't be good. Yeah, when you're on pills and you get the Shake Shack Postmates, it's never gonna work out.
No, that's, yeah. Been there, sister.
Because then you have to have an air fryer, and then that's bad.
No,
you have an air fryer, Sam? Okay, good. You can't have an air fryer. Air fryer is bad.
That's cheating. But I'm proud of you for ordering though, because I will at this point. I will go to a restaurant alone almost unless there's really a reason for me to order it. But in LA it's different. It's like in New York I'll walk outside, I'm in a restaurant in 5 minutes, I'm out in 45 minutes. It's a very different equation.
It's a lot different.
Getting in the car.
For me, I can walk out the door in my house and it's going to be there's food within reach, but I don't know if I'm going to be able
I don't know how many full meals you're eating from 7-Eleven, but you're right. It is within reach. Technically.
No, I have a lot of kebab at my disposal, if you could imagine.
Okay, a lot of kebab at your disposal.
Well, and also there's a burger truck that's sort of pops up near me. There is a good Mexican like taco stand that's good, but there's some shitty smash burger places that are never going to work out with like streetwear branding and like hot pink drippy letters, and it's called like Smashed with like an X in there or something.
I love that.
But there's a place, maybe I've talked about it before, called Less Mess.
No.
Have I talked to you about this?
Great name.
So it's a burger truck that sets up in Glendale, and their pitch to Shark Tank is that the burgers are less messy. And I'm like, how do you make it less messy? And he's like, let me show you. And there's a video. He has like a flat screen taped to his truck explains what goes on. And friends who are listening in Australia, there's a thing called a jaffle, which is like an uncrustable hot pocket waffle iron kind of thing. And they used to be popular in the 80s when we were kids. And you would put like 2 pieces of bread and peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese, whatever, and you put it in there, and it crimps the sides and crusts them together.
It gives you a pocket.
Trapping the stuff inside.
It gives you a pocket.
And they do that, so they just make a full burger on a bun with lettuce, onions, tomatoes, sauce, cheese, whatever. Put it in this machine and then hand it to you, and it just looks like a little brown Frisbee kind of thing.
Is it good?
I'm never going to order that.
I feel
I've never been eating a juicy Burgers Never Say Die cheeseburger or For the Win smash burger and said, this is so good, but the mess is just I just cannot deal with the mess.
Here's the thing.
They wrap it in paper, and then the paper keeps the mess in.
I feel the same. I actually disagree with you completely. Hamburgers are disgusting. It gets all over my hands, and I would like to try this. If they have a veggie option, I think this is great. The paper doesn't work, and that's a lie. The paper does not work. It's paper.
Yeah, you're right. The secret sauce does go through the cracks in the wax paper.
Look, you're right. You're right.
You got me, Jack. You got me. That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't work, and I like that. This is cool.
So you would try this?
Oh, for sure.
Something about it just feels so
lame.
It feels so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other part that's sad is like our podcast is big enough that somebody will know a guy who knows the guy who does this, and he's going to listen to this right now. And I'm just talking about all the thousands and thousands of dollars that he's invested into this surefire idea. Then I just don't know if there's a demand for people who are like, I have. Flavor, price, that's not a priority when I'm eating food.
Mess.
My main priority is, am I going to spill on my shirt? Am I going to get some pickle on my trousers?
I'm going to say that mess, first of all, pickles are disgusting, but I'm going to say that mess is top. I would say mess is top 3 for me, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
So there is a market, the few, the proud.
Like, I hate dipping fries in ketchup because I have to touch them with my hand. Like, I hate that. Like, I try to eat fries with a fork, but then you feel like a freak. You know what I mean?
So you hate dipping a fry into ketchup because that means you have to touch the fry with your hand, and then your hand is dirty.
Exactly.
Maybe when you went to Korea, thanks to our friends at Coca-Cola, I think they have little devices, like when you order food, it's like a little finger condom.
I would love that.
So when you're eating, you don't get your hands dirty.
I would love that. I would love that.
Maybe you have a little Asian in you, brother. Do you have any Asian in you?
No. Only one of us has Asian in him.
Do you want some?
No, but I'm not going to be like you and be the white guy who's like, I'll just have chopsticks. And it's like, bro, it's a salad. No, I'll just take the chopsticks.
Chopsticks are better with a salad. I will. That's my Molly Baz twisted take.
Chopsticks are only good for sushi. That's the only thing I want to use chopsticks for. And I'd prefer to use my hand if it's a high-end omakase, but I want to make sure I'm doing it right, you know? I want to make sure I'm doing it right.
Only food that you will eat with chopsticks is sushi.
Yes.
Okay.
That's honestly all white people should only eat. That should be the law.
The law.
Maybe noodles. I mean, ramen noodles are good. Ramen and sushi and pho.
Yeah, Gavin Nuisance is going to drop the ball on this too, probably, won't he?
What hasn't he dropped the ball on?
Yeah, but he's not in jail like y'all, Mayor.
Hey, Eric, he ain't in jail. Free Eric. I'm taking his spot. We already talked about this. I'm like Frank Underwood on House of Cards. I'm taking over as mayor, like he took over as VP.
Okay.
I got my ops out of here.
Well, yeah, this whole intro we've been recording, I'm being filmed right now. Just wanted to say that for later when whoever's watching this video. There's Sam right there.
That's not really, that's the kind of, you're kind of supposed to not say that actually, so that doesn't affect.
I have control of the edit.
Doing,
don't worry. I have final control of the edit.
I do know that. We have a guest today. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, if you send me notes for the edit, guess where they go?
Jason, first of all, I've
recycling bin.
I've never sent you a single note for editing. That is something you will never get from me.
You'll have notes on fashion, hair, things like that.
No, your hair looks great. Your pants look great, but I ain't ever gonna give you notes on editing. That is your department. You're good at it, and that's why you do it, and I don't.
And also, we have a guest today. You have to listen to the edit to make notes, and that's one issue.
Yeah, I'm not listening to my own podcast. I'm already a fucking freak. I can't go that far. All right, we have a guest today. Our buddy Jesse Rutherford. He's the front man of the band The Neighbourhood. He's got a solo record out now, self-titled, called Jesse, that came out September 20th.
Yeah, for friends deep in the How Long Gone lore, when we were doing the Twitch live show at Diplo's studio downtown, and then Rebounder came.
Oh, yeah.
With Jesse, and then they played a couple songs, and then Rebounder laid down that
the freestyle. Yes.
All right, so yeah, Jesse's here. He's on an iPad. We have notes about that, so let's give him a jingle, and we'll chat more with him about that.
Oh, what up, bro? All right, Jesse, what's really good, baby? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Chilling.
Are you home right now?
I am, yeah.
Okay, this looks nice. I couldn't tell if it was. I didn't think it was the studio. That's all I'm saying.
No, just I mean, if it looks nice from this angle, that's good. I'm fooling you nicely.
Okay, the natural light. I guess I just I saw a lot of natural light. That usually means things are going okay.
That's why I got the place. Honestly, this room, it's like high ceilings, a lot of natural light. That's pretty much what I crave.
You're in the valley, right?
No, I wish. I'm in. Well, I can't say that.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm in Silverlake.
Okay.
Where I belong.
Okay. For some reason, I thought. Okay, do you feel more at home there?
As opposed to what? The valley?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. I mean,
did somebody say valley?
Silverlake is just. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't make it over there very much. Let me be honest.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm definitely not an LA hater. I appreciate it, but I don't think I appreciate it enough sometimes.
Sure.
I don't take advantage of my surroundings sometimes, but I will say I'm a big walker, and I live in that little part of town where
so you can get around.
I can kind of cruise everywhere. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that is. I mean, in LA, that is rare.
So you walk around Silverlake?
Every day, yeah.
Okay, and what are your average amount of run-ins, stop-in chats, punishers?
Yeah.
I mean, unless I go to one of my favorite places, the mall, which I often frequent the mall, just so I can feel successful. Right. Nobody cares about me here, man. You kidding me?
Okay, when you say the mall, are you referring to one specific mall or just malls in general in the Los Angeles area?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I go back to my hometown, which is in Thousand Oaks, Newbury Park area.
Okay.
Throw your tees up.
Yeah, straight up. But not different TO. But I just take a nice lap around the mall, make sure everybody's doing their job.
Sure.
Okay.
Go back. Check in at Auntie Annie's. Make sure the pretzels are still fresh.
Absolutely.
See if Champs got any new ones.
Yeah,
in.
Kick the tire. Yeah.
See what stores have shut down and what new ones have popped up to just shut down again in another couple months.
I think the Yiddy store might be on a leave of absence right now. The Yiddy kiosk didn't get renewed for the lease.
Yeah, I'm trying to take that over.
That's so funny because the mall that I grew up going to that's near my parents' house is completely decimated. Like, it's closed. It was sold to a hospital for offices, and it used to be but like less than 20 years ago, it was a bustling, profitable mall, and it's crazy how fast it changed. Crazy.
Yeah, but it definitely bums me out. Like, I went to, where was it? Maybe I think the Galleria. There's still malls that actually I haven't been to, and I'll end up at them and be like, "Whoa! All these years, I never ended up in you." But
Sure.
It's so great to finally meet you, dude.
Absolutely,
like, I've heard so much about you, Sherman Oaks Plaza, and it's just weird that we've never kicked it before.
It's so crazy. We have so many friends in common. It's weird,
dude. I know, so many familiar faces. But yeah, it's nice to see one that still has kind of kept some of the original, like, character, or original, I guess, some of the character from 20 years ago still that haven't been chronically updated.
Like the carpet in the Portland airport kind of vibe, preserving the culture from our childhood.
We need more of that, honestly, because when I first started going to LA and I went to the Grove and the Americana and all that, even Century City, I'm like, this is fucking insane. This is like on steroids. Like, and Atlanta is famous for malls.
You ain't never seen a mall like that, have you, bitch?
I really haven't. It's like
I thought. It's like your little ass back to Conyers with your little biochemical fire.
That's what we want.
Sorry.
No, but it's like it really is. I was like, this is fucking crazy. I had no idea, because it's also like the first time I saw the outdoor baggage carousel in Burbank. Like, that is crazy to me.
That is a cool experience. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's very similar to the episode of Mad Men when they go to LA for the first time and they go to the pool wearing their 3-piece suits.
Yeah.
Checking out the vibe at the Beverly Hills Hotel pool. Like, I think I'm going to like this.
Yeah. I was going to say, I still have to get all the way through Mad Men. I've started it and veered off 2 different times now. For some reason it gets
2.
I don't even know how many seasons there are, but yeah, I've tried.
Is it because girls don't want to watch it?
Probably part of it. Yeah.
I'm not asking you. I'm saying I've run into that issue before in my life.
Really?
Yeah, you definitely need to have girlfriend shows.
Is it a show? Is it a show for the fellas just because of the content and the way the men behave?
No, it's a show for fellas or for the ladies or for our non-binary viewers, but it's not a together show. Like, women will watch it because they want to have sex with John Hamm in a suit while he like smokes and like beats women, and they're like,
yeah.
And guys are like, procedural workplace agency drama.
Yeah.
Yes, he nailed that pitch meeting. That's so sick. Littering, I stand littering.
So it appeals to both for very different reasons, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but then you put it together, and then you like it when John Hamm takes his shirt off. Yeah, wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Peggy is short for the name Margaret.
I did not know that.
Honestly, I didn't know that either. I didn't know that.
Do you know how we get there? Do you know the etymology of that?
Yeah. No, I don't. I just know my mom was from the era where that was happening, and she told me one time, Peggy's short for Margaret, and just like,
it feels like one of those, there's names that, like, my sister's name is Ansley, for example.
Okay.
That name, I feel like, existed in the South for like a 15-year period.
Sure.
And I've only met one other one in my life. You know, I feel like Peggy as Margaret was probably a trend kind of during that era.
So does that mean Korean EDM sensation Peggy Gou is actually named
Margaret Gou?
Margaret Gou?
That changes everything.
But it's very Gou. Margaret Cho. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Two strong, tatted up Asian women doing it in the entertainment business.
Damn.
Yeah, that's fire.
That's Margaret Gou.
Margaret Gou did not finish her homework, and she cannot go out this weekend.
That does not hit the same. That is not.
Peggy's breaking all the rules, though. No,
I didn't know that. That's good. That's good data for mom, though. Yeah, that I would not have known that.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Rutherford.
Yeah, one of the greatest pieces of knowledge she gave me.
Well, sure, she did such a great job raising me. You know, this is kind of what I retained.
Yeah.
Speaking of family stuff, I was reading about Courtney Love is a grandma now, and how weird that makes me feel because her kid had a baby with Tony Hawk's kid.
Yeah, Frances Bean Cobain married Tony Hawk's son, and now they have a baby.
And Courtney Love is the grandmother of that baby.
Hold on, how did we get to Courtney Love from there?
We were just talking about family stuff, moms and things like that, and it reminded me of that.
Okay, so the Tony Hawk kid and Kurt Cobain's kid is unrelated.
No. They had a child together. They are married.
Tony Hawk's son and Courtney Love's daughter. Courtney and Kurt's daughter.
Courtney Love. Sorry, I was thinking of Courtney Cox just now for some reason. I'm like, Courtney Cox is one of... Okay, yes, I know that. Great.
You're like, this is crazy. Courtney Cox was dating the guy from Snow Patrol. What do you mean?
What the fuck? Yeah, how do we get there?
And all that is crazy and it's fine, but for something about seeing Courtney Love becoming a grandmother just makes me feel... it obviously makes me feel kind of old, but... I don't know what else it makes me feel.
No, because
it makes me feel like a whole new generation of time and space has begun.
Yeah, I feel you, but I mean, they also had a kid pretty young.
Yeah, that's true.
Say, right? I don't know exactly how old they are, but
hey, look, if you're trying to make me feel better, it's working, Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better.
I bet they were in their. I bet they were in their 20s. Like I'm sure they were in their 20s.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I don't remember how old. I'm not a big Nirvana guy. But I feel like Kurt Cobain was a lot younger than I think he was during the height.
He died?
No, just because he was 27 when he died. So that means in the height of his fame, he was like 24 or whatever. You know, he was super young, which is crazy.
Yeah. What were you up to mentally when you were 23 years old, Jesse? In terms of family starting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I already had one on the way, but I don't talk to her anymore. I'm kidding. No, I think I was just like, I was moving so fast. I don't know what I was even thinking about. And then I think I hit 25, and I remember 25 freaked me out. Like that made me feel old. And then 27, I had like a renewed sense of like, oh no, it's not that much. And then from 28 to 30, I mean, 29 is the most pointless age in the world. Like I was already telling people I'm 30.
You're skipping ahead because it feels like it's like
let's get here.
It's like the word fiance. It's like we need to skip this.
Absolutely.
Like,
but there's a different thing. Fiance doesn't start with a 2. 30 starts with a 3, and 29 starts with a 2. I want to drag that number out as long as I can.
Yeah.
But I understand you wanting to round up to 30.
At that point, I was like, just get me there so I could stop thinking about it, I guess.
The band was kicking though. You were young, but like it was all happening already.
Yeah. I mean, my whole 20s.
Yeah.
For me, I was 21. Some of the other dudes in the band were like 19.
That's actually kind of crazy. That's like, I know that's like normal, but it seems so young when you talk about it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I was like so obsessed with, I think a lot of teenagers are like this. Like by the time I was like, 16, 17, I was like I wanted to be grown so bad. And then like you try to get there, and then some things kind of happened in my favor to make me believe that, because I gained a certain goal, early on.
Yeah. Are we talking about money, or are we talking about pubic hair?
No, pubes still took a while. I only got those like
a
couple years ago. I was a very late bloomer, actually.
He's like, I was making a lot of money, but no pubic hair yet. No.
You were a late bloomer as it pertains to hair, or what other aspects? Yes. Okay.
I mean, I think all things. I'm a very stunted man, I would say, because I mean they kind of gave me the keys to the castle.
You're a stunty man.
There you go. They gave me the keys to the castle by the time I was like 21, and then I get lead singer baby treatment for such a long time. So it kind
I'm glad that you're acknowledging lead singer baby treatment, because it's a very real disease. It's a very real disease that many men in your position suffer from. And I want to know about the recovery process. Is it just aging? Was there a medical kind of program you had to stick to, or how did you do it?
I mean, growing this beard was the first step.
Yeah.
I'm still looking into the Transcendental, who does that class over here in LA.
You could definitely get treatment if that's what you're looking for.
You haven't paid for your word yet? Your TM word?
No, I don't have my mantra yet. Still developing it. But no, I mean it's it's a specific. Sometimes I think I'm too aware of my circumstance and get too much time. Part of the privilege of the job that I have is spending too much time thinking about myself and thinking about,
Sure.
you know what I mean, like my problems in quotes. So, no, it's been kind of interesting, but that's also why taking time off from the band has been so important, because it was like, I just kind of wanted to know what it felt like to maybe grow into an adult. And that's which you don't want to, but I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, I should probably do that at this point.
Yeah, I think it's very responsible, honestly, because I always joke that, like, basically, I only know it to be true with musicians because that's who I've dealt with the most, but I'm sure it's true for some actors as well. But, like, if you, basically the age that you start, it really starts happening for you is kind of where you stop maturing, unless you pay attention.
Yeah.
Unless you like check yourself, and it's like, all right, well, I'm 21, and then you wake up and you're 30 and you're still acting 21, unless you're taking stock of what's going on.
Right. And luckily, a lot of the things that I think happen to people in my position, as far as like struggling with addiction and stuff like that, didn't really, I think weed was the thing that I was the most, I guess I'm going to say, addicted to. And I kind of had my run with that and then stopped that. But other than that, there was really nothing that grabbed a hold of me too much. So
it's good.
Weed's a serious fucking thing though, dude.
But weed addiction is a serious one though. So are you completely dry off the green?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say that while there's an edible in my mouth right now. No judgment. I think it's totally cool.
No, it's funny because the only time I really miss it is like, you've had your day, you're at home on the couch, you're already comfortable and enjoying, your situation, watching your program. But just, if you could just roll that thing up and light it up and smoke it and just enjoy it just a teeny bit more.
Roll that thing up.
Hawk Tua, roll that thing up. I know. And I mean, that's how I began, because I used to smoke weed. And then I stopped. I got all paranoid, and then I wanted to reintroduce it into my life. And it was those settings. I built my boundaries. I'm only gonna, when I'm done with all my work, I got some food. Maybe I cooked dinner. Some food's on the way. I got my program. I'm gonna watch Mad Men, whatever it is, and then rolling that thing up of some good. It does just make everything a little bit. It makes 40% better. Food tastes really better. The show that, if you're watching a show that's a 6, it becomes a 9
easily. Yeah.
I don't think that I think that it's become. Yeah, I feel like people just chain smoke weed now in a way that they used to not do that. Like, it used to be like what you guys are talking about, where it'd be like an occasional. If you smoked weed during the day, you were a fucking burnout. You know what I mean? It was like you smoke weed at night, maybe you smoke before. Now it's literally like, I see a fucking nurse walking down the street, hitting the joint before work. It's crazy. Yeah. It's changed completely.
Yeah, whenever I go to your neighborhood, Chris, like when I go to Melrose Place and you go to Valet, there's always just like a $300,000 car, and then the doors open up and it's just like 7 high school kids, and they're all like, one eye is closed and they got the roach in their hand that they've been holding for the last 11 hours. They don't realize it. And they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go shopping again. Hi.
I just thought, like most former drug addicts, I thought I was very functional in every way, no matter what I was on. And then I'm like, there's no way.
To be fair, you were.
I mean, I was with you sometimes, like with weed. I think it's a little easier, but like you really think you're on, and it's like, bro, you're like, this is slowing you down a little bit.
Yeah,
that's the nature of it.
I need to be as sharp as I can be. I mean, it's I only got so much sharpness going on here, so I gotta you know what I mean. I gotta keep it as sharp as possible.
So you're saying resources are low already, and like we need to preserve them?
Dude, for real,
the tank is low.
Yeah, no, I'm just like overthinking everything as it is already. So like words coming out of my mouth sometimes are like, so the pot eventually was just like my big like bright high idea. Every time I would get high, after a while, was just like, I think it'd be sicker if you didn't smoke weed. I think
really?
I think you'd be cooler. Sure. I think, yeah. And it just like happened for so long. And then a series of events happened. I went through a breakup and I moved to New York in the winter, and I ordered Little Frankie's Postmates, and it came to my apartment. First night I was there, mattress on the floor, I realized when I got it upstairs to eat it, I didn't have any silverware, and I had already smoked, and I was like alone in a new city, like kind of a little bit further away from like what was going on, and like had to walk to the bodega on the corner to get silverware, and there was like a scary guy that was sitting outside all night, and like this high moment hit me where I was just like, bro, you're alone and you're out here and you don't have silverware, and you should not smoke weed anymore. And that moment was the last time I ever smoked pot. And that was that was like 3 years ago, I guess. It was November of 2021.
I love that. I love that Little Frankie's didn't include silverware and it changed your life. That's what
Does Little Frankie's sell pizza though?
And so, yeah, but I used to get pizza and a nice side of broccoli, which you would need a fork for. I don't know what your order is, Jesse.
I went broccoli and the spaghetti limon.
The broccoli is amazing. Okay. I love the broccoli.
I guess I would get depressed if I was eating spaghetti limon with my bare hands like over the sink.
Yeah, like that.
I'd be like, NYC, baby. Yeah, on the floor.
Not it, dude. I was like, nah, it's done. This is it.
Yeah, well, it's so funny how your brain goes that way, and then my mind, I'm thinking, well, I mean, you're not a real smoker if you don't get all your shit sorted out. I mean, I don't smoke. The chronic doesn't hit my face until my mise en place is all ready to go.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, sure. You'd be prepared.
I'm not a real smoker. I'm not a real drinker. I'm not a real drinker either. Like I could never drink good enough. Like I never have like I think I've like blacked out once, but like I again, for a person in my position, I think that would be maybe shocking for someone to hear, but
that's low. That's a low total for someone that's been in your position for as long as you have.
You have a low ERA average as it pertains to blacking out on alcohol, which is a good thing.
It just makes me feel fat. I just like get home and I just feel like bloated and like ugly. Yeah. So I'm just like,
So that's the block is you have a sick body and you need to maintain that at all costs. And alcohol is the worst thing you could do for your body in terms of being fat.
Brother, for real. I've been, I got super into training in the past year, and it's like, I love it so much.
Okay. OG's getting jacked. What are we doing?
Just like strength training. Like, I have a trainer and we work like, well, we were 4 days a week. I was trying to like bulk and like get actually bigger.
Yeah.
It's, fortunate problem, I guess.
You gotta eat too much. You gotta eat too much.
I can't do it, bro. I can't do it.
Do it, pussy.
I know. I want to. I am a pussy. I can't do it. I'll just submit to being a pussy.
Why aren't you drinking 40 eggs a morning, you fucking bitch?
So you tried and you were like, I just can't. I'll do the workouts, but I can't do the other stuff.
No, yeah, exactly. Like I mean, it took me 4 months maybe to gain like 10 pounds.
That's not bad.
And then I think I went away for like a week and it was all gone immediately. Cause that's another thing, if I'm not like locked into a routine, it's kind of easy for me to, especially with like touring and that kind of stuff. Like, it turns into, I'm obsessive. So it's hard for me to like maintain balance of something that I've been doing, like exercising, and like I need to pay someone and have someone hold me accountable and trick myself into believing that it's like a social thing. And then before I know it, I'm curling heavy weights and shit. And I'm like,
that's what the entire trainer business is based on. Because the amount of people, like I'm close to my trainer, so we talk about it pretty often. But it's like, there's several. Most clients of any trainer don't want to do it, but they feel like they have to, so they pay someone to make them do it, even if they don't put in a lot of effort.
When they get the calendar alarm that your training is in 30 minutes, most people are like, fuck.
No, I love it.
And you're saying, and you're running towards it, which is a good sign. But
yeah,
I'm the same way as you in that regard, where you're like, all right, I'm staying at home, I'm getting a lot of sleep, I'm drinking water, I'm getting morning sunlight, I'm eating good, working out, and then as soon as you get on that airplane to go to somewhere else for even 2 days, the whole house of cards starts crumbling down
for the most part
quickly.
Yeah, for the most part.
And then you're like, I should have a beer at the airport, and then
it's all downhill from there.
Well, it's really like if I just went and played like a little run of shows. I wouldn't even call it a tour. Really, it was like a run.
What did you do? Did you do New York, Chicago?
Keep going. And
L.A.
One more. Come on.
I'm sorry.
You know it.
Atlanta, Boston, Atlanta, Philadelphia,
Toronto.
Oh, okay. So you crossed the border. I didn't know if it was that kind of thing. Okay, because you did these. Were you totally up there by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw some video. All right, so you were totally up there by yourself, and you were playing guitar, and there was some programming and stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And
got
some
it.
big fat screens in venues that were too small for them, which was pretty fun.
Okay. You're like, we got there, and then we realized the screens were a little too big, but we made it work.
Well, that was the point, though. Yeah. I had to pull my big screen out and show everybody. But no, it's when I play shows, a lot of the time I don't eat as much. I eat even less because I don't like to eat so many hours before I'm going to go on stage, and then in the morning. I'm trying to get in a better habit of eating in the morning, but I'm typically not a morning eater.
Yeah.
Usually either. So like I have the small little window. But then afterwards, I'm like, pizza guy after the show.
That's the problem.
I mean, we don't eat before our shows either. And then afterwards, Jason jokes, but we always somehow find our shows end early. So we're able to find a nice American steakhouse that's open till 10:30.
Right, yeah.
So we can get something reasonable. You know what I mean? It's not like we have to eat fast food.
We don't have to have garlic knots for dinner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we do have garlic knots for dinner, but we have other stuff as well, at the corporate steakhouse.
But it's because our show's over at like 9. We can get out of there at 9:30, 9:45.
And also you have the psychological feeling that you deserve a treat because you just worked so hard.
Yeah.
You did a good show. The crowd loved it. And then you've been holding yourself up the whole day, and then you can finally,
yeah, exactly,
let go.
And if you don't do drugs and alcohol, then it's time to start shoveling Caesar salad into your mouth, right?
Exactly,
pretty much.
Somehow Caesar salad has taken the place of 8 vodka sodas, which is great for me, but it's a shocking revelation.
It's really a different kind of umami, but it still hits the same.
How were the shows? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was cool. The point of it was kind of to be like. Hey, I'm here. I exist, and I'm putting new stuff out. And it was originally my new songs. Initially, the whole album was supposed to come out before the tour even happened, and then I was kind of like making some last minute decisions. And
all right, Kanye, you're editing once the song is up.
Bro,
like
you could do that now. So sorry, I'm gonna do that.
They got to take the machine away from your ass. They locked the studio.
I kind of like it. But I mean, Kanye as the example, but who else other than Kanye and you, who else is doing it? I don't know. I haven't really, maybe Bon Iver might do something like that.
I don't really know. I'm sure people are taking advantage of it. I saw one thing that I thought was really cool was that when Charli XCX put out her new stuff, she changed all the art for all of her older albums to all match like the Brat aesthetic.
Really? Oh, wow. I didn't see that.
Super cool. So like,
I didn't know she did that.
Yeah, I'm an Apple Music guy, so if I don't know about Spotify, I'm sure it's there too. But
hell yeah, same, bro. Apple Music for life.
Yeah.
All right. I'm starting to come around to Apple Music, honestly.
I can't look at the numbers, dude. I love that Apple doesn't have numbers. Like
as a person in your position, I really understand that, and a lot of my people love to. I don't look at numbers either, but obviously it doesn't affect me to look at the numbers. But like, I don't. That's just not what I'm there for.
But I mean,
you know what I mean?
But it does affect. It's so subconscious. I don't know how it doesn't affect any of us seeing. A number attached to something,
I just mean it's not attached to my name, is what I'm saying.
Right. Cool.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not. I'm not looking at my own shit, being like, wait a second, Claro's a lot bigger than me. What the fuck?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Which is also exciting because the other guys in my band do use Spotify, and like I get a nice little treat every once in a while. Like, bro, I don't know if you've seen the Neighborhood's numbers, but it doesn't. It's unbelievable. Like,
no, it's crazy. I know.
I'm in the thing, and I'm like, I make the joke all the time that Spotify is gonna eventually send us like a message, like, "Hey guys, sorry, we've been adding 1 digit to your monthly listeners for the past
there's an accounting
5 years."
error.
Yeah, it's account. Yeah, it's like when
I'm
Bank
looking
of
it
America.
up right now. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. No, but it's. I like to not be focused on that.
Wow, bro.
I knew this. Dylan has told me this before, and then I went and checked out. But what do you think the reason? I mean, obviously,
you got 3 songs in the billions.
Yeah,
which is very rare. But yeah, his monthly listeners. You want to guess, Chris?
I don't know.
Mine or Neighborhood? Don't look at mine. They're not that great.
Neighborhood.
How many?
$44.2 million per month.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But
crazy.
what do you think?
That's high.
Why do you think this happened? Like, what do you think? Is there like, have you guys been able to track it, or is it just like a blessing?
I mean,
When you got it, yeah. Well, and also here, for the reference, Charli XCX 40 million.
amazing.
So that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I just think.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a trip, man. But all I know is that we went on a hiatus. A member got canceled, and then a whole lot of bullshit happened with me also.
Sure, yeah.
For whatever reason, I think quadrupled in size. So I don't know what that exactly means. I think you could make your own assumption about that.
Okay,
but it's very interesting.
I'll speculate off pod.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
but that's I mean, who knows? I mean, that you don't hear about that. I mean, it's like, you said all of those things that happened to you guys. None of those things turn into an increase in listeners.
Totally unrelated.
None of it makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I mention it, because it doesn't make any sense. But the only thing that also, we don't have a TikTok, and all of these songs, like I mean, Sweater Weather has kind of been a like beast of its own for as long as it's been out. But like a couple of the other songs,
that song is its own business itself,
bro. It's so beyond me, and it's like an accidental seasonal hit. Which is like,
every time the temps drop, baby, we're back
every time.
I guess we're kind of we are kind of in this. This is like your version of Christian Girl Autumn.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, this is your
your song needs its own latte at select locations.
It's Jewish Boy Fall, and I'm living it. But it's kind of interesting because it I guess just has to do with, believe it or not, the music. For whatever, people don't know us for, our faces, or maybe even our band name, or, it's
true.
As much as I would have appreciated that along the way, and I tried very hard for people to notice those things. Hey, I mean, the music is kind of...
Yeah, none of you guys are on TikTok giving tours of your apartment or giving your hot takes on a subway. There's no, you're not on Fallon playing Twister. It's just the music.
I have to send my own DMs to even get on How Long Gone, so you can only imagine.
Yeah.
Look, first of all, I want to be clear. Jason, thank you for, but I did not see an email. I really didn't. I would never have done that. I know,
of course
I know
not.
you,
I don't take
and I
personally.
like you. And I was like, you're like, bro, I hate to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of in the Mariah Carey category where she lays low, stacks bread, and then every year she has one song that inserts itself into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Obviously,
not bad company.
All I Want for Christmas Is You, a little bit bigger of a cultural moment. Mm-hmm. No offense to you, but
give us a few more years. Give us a few more years.
Yeah,
you're on the stands. You don't have a gold, but you're bronze. To be Mariah's bronze, a dream.
I hope that climate change doesn't affect the success of the song. Something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Something to think about. As temperatures rise globally, this could affect the numbers.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's definitely.
All of a sudden,
luckily,
you're a climate activist.
There will
all of a sudden. Like that.
We're still gonna have sweater weather. It's just not gonna happen in the same months. It's just gonna adjust.
Yeah, that's fine as long as we still have
the same way that it's in October right now, but it'll be 96 degrees in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
we're pushing sweater weather back to April.
But it is really interesting because I feel like in most cases like this, it can almost always be traced back to TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's almost always what happens, whether it's a new song or an old song, honestly.
And it's also not the live shows. I mean, I'm not saying that you guys are bad live, but I'm saying like
a little bit.
You're not doing reunion tour. We can improve.
You're not touring either. You're not like acting.
Yeah, you're not touring.
No. I mean, we haven't done anything. The last show we played was the Bowl in October 2021.
Damn,
so
dude. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it puts you in a really interesting position because I feel like it also that frees up a lot of time and brain space to just like do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like it's like that will always be occurring in the background, and you can go make new music with the Neighborhood by yourself. You can write songs for other people. It doesn't matter. It's like you have that baseline that will always be there.
No, I'm really grateful for it. It's like it's a stable foundation that I get to have, and me and my friends get to share with each other. And yeah, I mean, that was, that song was the first song we ever wrote. So it's just kind of like,
dude, what?
Yeah, it's wild.
That's real. That's so. I love that.
Kind of
I did not know that.
That must. You've probably talked to your therapist about the effect that's had on you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, so much is just out of balance.
That's like someone losing their virginity to Emily Ratajkowski.
Correct. Yeah.
What happens after?
All right, where do we go from here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a trip, and I still like it. I don't have any and also it's cool because now, again, like there's been these other moments that have happened over the past couple years, and like you said, there's like a couple songs now that have quite a few
streams,
listens. So that's pretty crazy.
But you've been working on this solo. So, I mean, I feel like since I've known you, you've been tinkering with this in some way.
Yeah, I think I made like 5 records to get to this one, but
oh shit, actually.
Probably. I mean, the amount of songs. Yeah.
Good.
I kind of
trim it down.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Exactly. I mean, for some at least, I and even still, like, I changed the album title. Like once it was already up, I changed it once. Like, and I still feel like the whole thing is like
marketing team loves that down in Atlantic when that happens.
Oh my God, I know. I just kept kind of like tinkering and stuff, and I think this is a weird one for me because it doesn't feel like there's like a much of a theme around it, and I think usually I feel more comfortable building like some sort of like an aesthetic or like a
world.
like a world of it. Yeah.
When you say you did like five records worth of songs, was there like a country one, and like, you know what I mean? Was it like were they different in a lot of ways, or was it?
There was a dubstep album, yeah. If that's what you're asking.
Was there a dubstep album? Is what I'm asking. Yeah, exactly.
No, he probably wrote 70 songs, and we whittled it down to a 12, and here we are.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm saying, did it? Okay, so it didn't go through. I didn't know if it was like I finished this thing, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, and then I move on to.
I'm like a chronic list maker, so like I'll have like and then I'll get obsessed with like maybe a song or a couple songs that I have, and like start a new album list and like have a name for it and have a couple tracks, and then I'll be like, okay, so then when I have like, I'll do some sessions, and I'll go in those sessions and play the songs that I'm really interested in at the time, and then be like, this is what I want to do, and then waste a bunch of people's time, and then eventually figure out, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. It was so good getting to know you and have this amazing experience. But so yeah, like there's just different, like definitely not country. I feel like that's been so like ran through at this point that I kind of was trying to maybe avoid that one. You're a little bit.
See, it is. You don't want to go the Jelly Roll route. Smart.
Oh, don't get me started on Jelly Roll. But
I'd love to get 5 on Jelly Roll from you. Actually,
no one's ever heard his music, so I would love to. I've never heard a song.
I'm just very inspiring fella for sure. Honestly, I'm not even talking about the music, but it's just the repping of sobriety when he's not. That I'm just kind of like,
oh wait, he's not sober?
I mean, he's not fully sober as far as I understand.
Oh, so he like smokes weed, but he's talking about his redemption story.
Yeah, and listen, I sound like an unempathetic asshole for that because I've never experienced being addicted to real drugs.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think it's an amazing feat to like, come down from there.
That's a little bit of a corner cut.
So he's like, I used to shoot PCP into my eyeball, and now I do mushrooms on the weekends, and I feel.
That's great to talk about, but to go to like sober living homes and like, I'm just kind of like,
no, you can't do that.
Guys,
you can't do that. No,
but I have a real issue in general with, I guess the media's portrayal of sobriety and that. I don't know. I'm just sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Well, it's changed. It's changed because now you can smoke weed and people don't understand that that's not the same thing. Like people just don't. It's crazy. It's like, oh, well, I do. Yeah.
Cali Sobes, bro. Cali Sobes.
Cali Sober has ruined it. Cali Sober has kind of ruined what it means, I think.
1,000%.
Oh, yeah. We ruined everything.
I could still crash my car off of an edible. Trust me.
Yeah.
I can kill someone in my Ferrari, Caitlyn Jenner style off one edible. Don't get it twisted.
What I won't do is stay up for 4 days in Las Vegas, losing my family's life savings at the blackjack table.
That's true.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
That's a plus.
Eating waffle fries.
That's a plus. So you didn't do country. You avoided your Renaissance album, but you maybe experienced other genres along the way, though.
I mean, I'm such like a pop guy, and I think this solo moment for me has been something like the Neighborhood was like technically just a side thing I did with my buddies, and it took off. So for a very long time, I'd been like, excited, and I've made other projects along the way too. Like this isn't my like debut album, although in some ways I guess it kind of feels like that, but I'm not going to do that thing that everybody else does and say it's my first album. It's not.
This feels like my first. This is spiritually my first album.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because I kind of like have tried my best to like drop any bullshit, or not bullshit, but just like not try to get so attached to a certain like style. And like I have this issue of like when someone likes me for something, I go, oh yeah, you like that? Well, what if I do this? And then try to like do some other shit. And they're like, bro, what? All right. I mean, I guess. And I'm like, no, but you know what I mean?
So,
like, no, we
don't know.
We talked about this.
You can't pin me down. You want to put a label on me? Good luck. You want to put me in a box? I'd like to see you try, brother.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just Jesse.
I'm just me.
What kind of music do I make? I don't fucking know.
That's true.
You tell me.
But so yeah, I think the stuff that I was making was probably way more pop focused because that's initially, like I grew up like looking at like Justin Timberlake or like,
sure.
and then directly to like hip hop. So like 50 Cent and like Eminem and, Wayne and shit. So like those were the things that I was way more interested in. And I think that's kind of where I programmed myself to believe like this is kind of what I want to do. And then part of the process of this album was like really getting to work with some people that I'd always wanted to work with and making some really exciting pop songs and being at home and performing them to myself in the mirror and just realizing like, you're not the one to do these songs, bro. Like this isn't for you. Like,
all right, so you're in the bathroom with the acoustic guitar and you're like, you know what? This is a hit for somebody else. Let's get Pink on the phone.
Exactly.
This ain't for me.
Put her up on the ropes in the stadium. Have you seen the Live Nation ads on TikTok for her show, by the way?
No.
It's fascinating. They keep coming up.
Is that like where she's like flying through the air on the trapeze and stuff like that?
Yeah, but it's like one of those ads where like it's an ad, but they have someone like, that appears to be just like a regular, girl like influencing or whatever, being like talking about like how many shows Pink has sold out, and like you could tell they're like trying to push it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
okay.
It's interesting.
Oh,
but I mean,
so like fake fan testimonial.
That's kind of how it feels. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never seen that for shows.
Yeah.
That feels like a TikTok. It's like when all the ads, Jason, were like fake podcasts. You know what I mean? And they would just be like, they would set it up to look like a podcast, but it would just be an ad.
Yeah.
Because the data shows that there's more engagement and longer retention of viewing when it feels real and somebody's just saying like,
I love it.
Like a voice from outside off of frames like, do you know how many shows Pink is selling out this summer?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's so crazy. She just sold out Omaha. I really look forward to going to see her.
And selling out the next one for her. Let's go do it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
No, it's kind of fascinating.
We love our Live Nation family.
Yeah, straight up, me too. I mean, if only they ran those ads for me so I could have sold out my shows. But
you're like, no, hey, look, no, whatever. We're working towards that. We're friends.
Pink's bringing in a good chunk of money.
Well, Pink, I'm sure. I don't know.
We'll do it next time.
I can't. Isn't Pink like biggest in Australia, or does she just go there a lot? I feel like it's like really wild in Australia.
I don't know. I haven't followed along.
Yeah, she's big there. Well, Katy Perry's in Australia right now, and I saw that she's selling out a bunch of shows down there. And then she performed the opening of the AFL league, which is like Australian football, which is like, I think it's kind of rugby-ish.
Yeah, it's rugby adjacent.
Aussie rule. I don't know what it is, but she got paid $1 million a song to play at this thing. But
oh, shit!
All that is to say, it reminded me of like when you're watching Tar or Will from Horses, where a scandal happens to you, and then you go into hiding into a foreign country where they still love you and don't judge you anymore. And now Katy Perry down in Australia, they're just like, yeah, fuck, we don't care.
Dude, she made $1 million a song.
Katy Perry.
She did nine songs, $9 million.
Oh shit!
Another accidental seasonal hit with Firework, I believe. I don't know if it's accidental, but that's a seasonal hit.
Oh, like a July 4th.
Boom.
Stars and bars.
Damn.
Don't say boom to fireworks.
Boom.
Boom.
Well, I wanted to also ask you about hardcore because we all saw the video of you performing, and I was captivated. I loved it. I was captivated because people were like, "This is so crazy." I'm like, guys, he obviously grew up listening to hardcore. This isn't like he discovered Hatebreed yesterday and went.
There's nothing else to do in Thousand Oaks
and put a band together.
Exactly.
Now, but what's the deal? What was it? Just you and the homies?
Yeah, it's a couple buddies of mine. We started this band called Valley Girl.
The name is really good too. The name is really good.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I agree.
And then our buddies playing this band called Cosmic Joke, and they were doing an album release show, and they known we've been kind of getting together and jamming.
Yeah.
We get together on Thursdays, eat Chipotle, and then go write riffs in my buddy Sean's little home office. It's great. We just did it yesterday. It was great. We got a hot one coming.
But Chipotle before
Yes.
Before the riffs?
It's the fuel. Yeah, it's the fuel for the riffs. You have to.
Okay.
What are you getting at Chipotle? Because after I want to lay down and go to sleep. I don't want to do chuggas. The metal zone stays in the box.
Chipotle doesn't have that effect on me for whatever reason. And maybe it's the order, my order, but
I'd like to hear your order, please, Jesse.
Well, I don't eat meat. And at the time I tapped back into Chipotle. Like Chipotle was like a thing. I'm sure you guys felt this way too, but about a decade ago, even longer, I guess. When I was about to graduate high school, one popped up in my hometown and it was like the thing, like lying around the block all the time.
Yeah.
And then I think I ran it to the ground. And after like 2 years, I never wanted to see Chipotle again. And then about 2 years ago, I attempted veganism, which I failed, but,
nice try, pussy.
yeah, I know, right? I'm a pussy. I told you through and through, bro. But I went back to Chipotle because I wanted to try their sofritas and their like whole vegan experience. And then I just kind of fell in love with that meal. And also it's like as far as I know, a good little like chunk of protein and shit too. So
sure,
I get nice and fueled up. And they're like everywhere. So it's so easy, but I go rice, which sometimes I ask for not a big scoop of it because they just give you way too much a lot of the time.
Sure.
Black beans, sofritas, little bit of medium salsa, and then guac and lettuce.
Oh, that's pretty light. I mean, I want to do a full documentary investigation on the relation of burritos to hardcore, because this was a bit honestly, I spent so much time eating burritos and going to shows in conjunction with each other, but I feel like it's because there was always a vegan option. That's what I feel like the through line is.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, when I was, we did a lot of In-N-Out out here, and which obviously there's not really, I don't know what
that's a tough vegan one.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a vegan.
You have to order what's called a wish burger, which is bun, ketchup, mustard, lettuce, tomato, onion.
Oh God!
Whoa!
Oh,
it's a lettuce and tomato sandwich with ketchup and mustard.
That's a good secret menu one. I've never heard that one. A wish burger.
Called a wish burger. You can eat the fries though.
What are you wishing for? To be hungry?
I'm wishing for some cheese.
To not enjoy it at all. Yeah.
Can I play and get some cheese?
Can you eat the fries? Can you eat the fries? Or are they cooked in? Those are clean, right? That's vegan. Yeah.
Yeah, fries are good.
Fries, you have to go light well at In-N-Out. Otherwise, you might get the worst fries you've ever had in your life. And if you ask for
true.
They're chips, and I don't want that.
I agree.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
you got it down.
I mean,
this is in Southern California. That's the thing. You're native, clearly.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks shit on the In-N-Out fries, but they just don't know how to order them correctly.
Which is a shame. Like they're doing it to themselves. Like it's. And I imagine if I didn't grow up here, I could imagine like not thinking In-N-Out was like unbelievable, but.
Sure.
Also, it's like East Coast, or it's like a White Castle, I guess, vibe, which I've never. Understood.
White Castle. It reminds me of Crystal, which is like a
Meth?
southern. It's the same. No. I mean, basic, kind of.
Oh,
But
it's awesome.
like the little burgers. It's the little burgers with the soft buns, but they have like an onion element that's like baseline onion element. But I would say that our In-N-Out is
There's
Chick-fil-A.
an onion element.
Like as far as like it's considered like good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because White Castle, it's sort of like 4 a.m. in Brooklyn, instant diarrhea flavor.
Yeah.
Whereas you get we're Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out, we're clean, we're run like the Navy.
Yes.
Super efficient, super good consistency.
We're Christians, so you can trust us and hate us at the same time. They got it all.
Both
they
of
got
them.
it all.
In-N-Out and yeah.
That's also why I think I relate them.
Yeah, if a gay person approaches in the drive-thru, they'll cook their food just the same, even if they do believe they're going to burn in hell while they're making their milkshake.
Everybody gets a chicken sandwich here, but we don't want to talk about what's going to happen when you croak.
I'll put the same amount of seasoning on it for you. You will die by my hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. So all right. So is there plans? Are there plans to make a Valley Girl record, or is this just for fun?
Both, I guess. I don't know about a record, but
sure.
So we put out a demo on YouTube.
Yeah.
And haven't put it on streaming yet, and then probably will drop like. I mean, I guess I'm giving away the plan here. We would want to put that out on streaming and then add like 2 more songs and do like.
We need the Revelation.
We need
record
7-inch, yeah,
bro.
of course.
Come on, I think we can figure this out.
You know the format.
We know the format. These major labels don't understand, bro.
No,
they don't
not
understand.
at all.
And you should do a GoFundMe to pay for the 7-inch pressing as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that'd be nice.
That's true.
That's a great idea. We need to record this thing, man, and we're just kind of running low. So if you guys
Honestly,
can help us out,
that's just a good bit in general.
I love all the people working in Atlantic listening to us right now. Like, really talking about the side project, hardcore band that we don't make any money off of a lot. And Chris and I are like, all right, we're gonna get into this. Okay,
for real.
We need your bass player to get stabbed, and that's gonna get us on the map. And then from there, I have a 10-point plan.
That's an easy.
He looks
plan.
the part for sure.
That's good.
He looks
okay,
like
he could take a stab. He could take.
He's
one.
a stabbable friend. He's asking for it.
But he's actually a licensed therapist and a new father.
Wow, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Damn, I love that.
If you're gonna stab him, below the waist, legs only, no artery.
You have your own studio, right? But is it full on, or are you just right there?
No, I don't have one. I used to have a spot in K-Town with.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We got to get you over to Kenny Beats' studio. We just toured his studio yesterday. It's fucking
his
insane.
new one.
Yeah,
Didn't he have a new one?
Yeah.
It's one of the nicest studios I've ever been in, for sure.
Where is it? I can't remember.
It's like USC, like
it's downtown,
right, Jason?
Yeah, downtown.
But it was. I knew. I mean, him and I have been talking about it for a while. He'd sent me pictures and shit, but I was like, I don't know. It just really, because there's it's like got the outdoor area with the bathtub outside, the bedroom, the whole thing, and then it's got like control room, live room, lounge. It's really nice.
Yeah, full kitchen, living room.
It's sick.
And no spared no expense on any of the gear, the build out.
I'm not surprised.
Custom OHA speakers.
He's
Everything
so
is
talented
custom.
and also just so smart. And
Yeah.
He's just like a savvy business guy, from what it seems.
That's for sure one of the greats.
Kind of guy that makes you think maybe I'll give marijuana another try, huh?
Bro, it's honestly true. One time when I was working with one of my favorite stories, actually, when I was working with Dave Siddick.
Yeah.
He
TV on the radio fame.
TV on the radio and fucking weed in the mouth all the time. But he told me one time, I was like sitting next to him asking him way too many questions, and he was like, I think I was actually explaining to him, like, I don't know, man, about this weed thing. I feel like maybe I should stop or whatever. He's like, I think you need to smoke more weed.
Yeah, like you need to leave me alone while I'm
exactly.
While I'm working,
and I was like,
basically,
okay.
Yeah, to me, it's like when you're going surfing, and sometimes you got to duck dive under the wave instead of running away from it. You got to face it head on.
Wow.
And then you've tamed the bud.
From one Californian to another.
Am I gonna roll up right after this? No.
For what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so do you like going to the studio, or do you find that like, or would you rather just be at home and then go in when you have to?
I think I really like it. But I think like anything, I kind of just get obsessed, and then I run it to the ground, and then I have to like get out of there. Just still, I'm constantly trying to find like balance in my life of like, even like trying to like find a hobby or something. I'm just not.
Anything in the running?
So the gym kind of counts.
Yes.
But we got anything else? You cooking or anything?
No.
Have you thought about knitting?
No.
What about crypto?
No, I'm not much of a numbers guy or a knitting guy. I like doing this. Like I like like talking with friends and people, and I don't know. I'm interested in like
you like to kibitz.
I like to kibitz. I like to feel connection, and I feel like that's a hard thing to find sometimes.
Maybe you should host some AA meetings.
Bro.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Or you could start your own podcast, but let me just tell you, it's much less profitable than what you're doing now. I just want to put that out there. Don't waste your time.
I thought of an idea. Check this out. I'm sure this already exists, but an idea where it's called "We Should Start a Podcast," and it's me and a different person every time. Because how many times you had a conversation with someone where you're like, "Oh my god, we should start a podcast," or somebody else says it. It's the worst idea ever. I'm not going to do it.
I don't do coke anymore, so I don't hear that much. But I know what you mean. I know.
Could you imagine me on coke, bro?
I can't imagine.
You are coke.
I can't imagine.
I am. I already am. I don't need it. It's just like.
Are you gonna?
Which is good. Enjoy.
Are you gonna play more shows, or what's the plan?
Wait. We're going back to his idea for his podcast.
That was the idea.
No, that was it. Nobody ever needs to hear about it again. Yeah. It's out. It's open. Somebody can take it. It's great.
Okay, well, I think if you really like doing this, you should lean into this somehow. I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, a podcast is the only way.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I mean, also just like, privately, just like talking to my buddies. And
maybe we should just go get dinner
Yeah,
sometime.
exactly. That's a better plan.
I'd love that.
That's a better plan.
I'd love that.
Is there going to be is there more neighborhood stuff? Is that in the works? Is that our plan?
I mean, we're
Sure. Yeah.
I would like to. It's it's an amazing thing that I get to have in my life, and I love my buddies. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, naturally it feels like that's probably what would happen, but I'm trying to also kind of like be in this moment with. It's so weird, dude. Like you put out a project, like for me, like you put out a project, and I'm so ready to like run to the next thing. And
that's why that's why I was asking, because I was like, you
and
sound
I'm trying
like
to kind of not, and
yeah,
just like,
that's good. No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to kind of learn to handle it the other way, because it's got to be, you got to see it through. You know what I mean? You put all this effort into it, like you got to kind of like do the other part is as maybe not fun as it is.
Absolutely, and that's why even doing this was just like so important to me, and to be able to do this and like talk about it at all. So, yeah.
Oh, dude. Hey, look, it's our pleasure. Thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you, and I'm sure we'll see you in LA soon.
Living in a labyrinth, sing more song and dance. Even if I found